go to the other place, that paranormal store, we should try to get there first if we have time. It's like 5 minutes away. But if it's longer than that, we won't go.
What is that? Holy crap, look at this.
It's like a haunted castle. Here it is.
This?
No, right here.
Looks smaller than I remember.
When was the last time you guys came?
Excuse me, I gotta get Mark. Hold on. Hold on. Let me just.
Oh, wait, no, purple. Alright. Wait, are we going to go something?
No, we're just gonna take a day tour of this place.
What? I still have the picture up. Here it is. Don't you dare take a picture of me. Well, you can't even see that it's prisons. There it is.
Okay, wait, this is zoomed in.
Wait, are you taking a video?
Yeah.
That's a good quality.
Okay, so we are at, is it blurry?
When you see things upside down, it's much easier to. Oh no, it's much better. No, not at all.
Alright. Okay, so we're at the Burlington County Prison. We're gonna do the day tour. I wanna run the EVP thing just in case we do catch something.
Oh yeah.
So, here with Matt, Mark.
The wussy and guy who was like.
I think I just zoomed in all the way.
People.
Coming up.
Get out!
What happened?
Anything else? EVP, camera, you don't want to bring?
No, I'm good.
That's it?
Yeah.
Are you on the recording? Oh, okay.
Do you have another one of those?
Hide the stuff. Someone's gonna come by our.
Guys, the door is open. Like, it literally is open.
Are we supposed to go in?
We still have like about 9 minutes. Alright, I'm gonna go see. Dude, look at the key.
Okay. Oh, look, nice. Look at all the stuff they found. Oh, look at that. What is that, face?
Oh, look, you can see the eyes.
Faces.
See.
Well, it's the longest used prison in the United States. It was in operation from 1811 up until 1965. It was a county facility for that entire time. It held men, women, and children. When it first opened, obviously 1811, their idea of what kids were was very different from what we think of children as. So any person that committed a crime, you could have went down to the local grocery store and sold like a dozen eggs, and you would have been brought here. Regardless of your age. There was no separate section for children in the building, so they would put in with whatever gender they were. The women did have their own wing, which is on this floor, the side of the building, so you can see that. When every type of prisoner you could possibly imagine was held here as well. When homelessness was considered a crime. Debt was a crime at the time that this opened for about the first 20 years of its history. Debt was still in place, you could be imprisoned for that. So we have people in, for owing very insignificant amounts of money. Homelessness, like I said, which really isn't a crime necessarily. all the way up to first-degree murder. There were 7 executions that were done here in the courtyard. All of them were due to first-degree murder charges. When the jail was first open, it was the most modern facility in the United States. And a lot of other prisons began to follow the same model as we used here. The guy that built the building was Robert Mills. That's his only picture, unfortunately. But he was the first native-born and trained architect for the United States. He was from Charleston. And he actually studied with Thomas Jefferson for 2 years and lived with him at Monticello. And they were lifelong friends. They batted ideas off of each other pretty much until the day Jefferson passed away. The freeholders ended up purchasing his second set of plans off of him. His first set was for a much larger structure. It would have had about double the cells that we have now and had a 4th floor. And they told him there was no need for it. So he basically, his second set, he just chopped stuff off, made it a little bit smaller. But in the design of the building, he put how the jail should operate into the design. So when you guys walk through, you'll see that in the different cells, there's different size windows. The smaller the window, the worse the criminal that stayed in that room. The reason that they did that was, one, they wanted to keep all the prisoners separate for the most part, so they couldn't learn off of each other. They didn't want them to come in and start talking about what their crime was and how to commit another crime. Obviously, it wasn't going to get them anywhere when they were released. And they put the windows in because obviously 1811 there's no electricity, but they wanted to treat them as humane as possible. So they wanted light to still be able to come in through the windows so they could at least have some light through the building, at least during the daytime hours. The other thing they did was they put a fireplace in every cell except for the dungeon so that they had heat. All of the prisoners were responsible for their own fireplace. So they had the firewood in their cell and all of the tools that were needed to keep it going. So it kind of taught them some responsibility. If you wanted to stay warm in the winter, you took care of it. If you used it for wrongdoing, it was taken away and you were cold, it's nobody's fault but your own. The other thing that they did was put a workshop in the basement. You guys can see that when you go downstairs. They did mostly woodworking skills to try and teach the inmates something that they probably didn't know when they came in, so that when they were released from jail, they can hopefully get a job, start a business, something to better themselves. I've had the feeling of like you're being watched, you're just not alone when you know you're the only person in the building. You know, that sort of thing. Like more of that creepy, you kind of look over your shoulder and expect to see somebody standing there and there's not, that kind of thing. But nothing.
It's like very benign, like it's not.
Yeah, I mean,
scary.
no. I've heard stories of people that have said they've seen, seen shadows, they've heard voices, they've had like their hair, played with kind of thing, but nothing, nothing bad. I've never heard of anything like horrible happening, which you would think as a prison, you have, obviously the people that were here weren't the best when they were alive. You would think that they're going to be here, they would be doing something, but
It's been very quiet.
it's been fairly quiet. Every once in a while it acts up a little bit more. When they renovated, there was a lot more apparently going on, but the workers were putting their stuff away and they'd come back the next day and tools weren't there and they'd find them like behind locked doors.